I remember I had a talking stage with somebody for say 6, 7 months. It was during the pandemic shot. Hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Obandamati. If this is the first time you're seeing this lovely face, make sure it's not your last. But if it's not your first time and you're a returning subscriber, you rock. Thank you for coming back here to listen to all I have to say. You're amazing subscriber, new subscriber and old subscribers. You guys rock. Thank you so much. However, we're going to be talking about something very fun and interesting. So today's topic is about 2025 dating trends and relationship tips. This is the first time or second time that I'm talking about relationships because for me it is very, very sensitive. However, these are conversations that kind of like get me riled up. Not riled up in a bad way, but riled up in a good way. I have experienced things, my G. I have seen live, I've seen things. And I'm not trying to take the position of Tony Tones, the amazing big sister that we have that has literally taught me a lot of things that I know. One of her books that I really love is this. And it is so important to know the information that she put into this book. As small as it is amazing. It's titled I Wish I Knew This Earlier, Lessons on Love by Tony Turn. It is the best book ever. There's another one that I know about, but I'm yet to get that particular book. And it is important to read this book if you've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to men, relationships, and all that stuff. So it's not good. Whatever I'm going to be talking about is not coming from this book. It's just based on my own personal experience. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Dating in 2025, in fact, for the past decade has been a lot. For the past decade, I am realizing how old I am. For the past decade, trials and failure, trying and trying and trying and keep failing and failing and failing. But here I'm here to share with you 2025 dating trends and relationship tips that I feel like will be very helpful for you, especially if you're trying to get into a relationship. But this is love filled. Ding ding. Is love filled, but it's not only about the love between, it's not about eros love, it's about agape love and every other love that comes in between. It doesn't have to be eros, it has to be, it can be other things, but we're going to be focusing on dating and relationships because these are the things that kind of like help us through life. Like the Bible says, man cannot be an island except you want to make decision to be by yourself, which is totally fine. It's difficult to date in 2025. Dating is evolving, and here are some few dating trends that are shaping the world of dating in 2025. One of the trends that I've noticed is intentional dating over casual flings. So people are more inclined to want to know what they are doing with the other person. It's not just about going with the flow anymore or let's see how it goes. This is a trend now that people are not about to waste their time. They just ask you, who her? Bros, waiting the sub, babe, waiting the sub. Do you understand? So I like that the trend has changed from casual flings to intentional dating. Another dating trend that I've come to notice in 2025 is values over vibes. Values over vibes in the sense that people are now more intentional about asking or trying to find partners who can fit into their values, not people who will take them away from their values or like diminish whatever values that they have. Do they have the same faith? People want partners who align with their life goals. People want partners who can help them grow personally. People want partners who can help their lives, not diminish the light that they already have. So another dating trend I've come to notice is slow dating. A lot of people are prioritizing getting to know somebody rather than just doing things sharp sharp, because I have this feeling for you at this time, so I might as well just jump in. I like you, you like me, let's get this ball rolling. People have taken the initiative to take a step back and they're thinking to themselves, I'd rather take my time because I'm not about to get myself hurt or broken. There's some people who have done it fast and it worked for them. There are some people It hasn't. So I don't advise you. It hasn't worked for me. It hasn't worked for me one bit. So I mean, I've tried both fast and slow, and still, but still. Another dating trend that I've come to notice is mental health check-ins. People are now more concerned about people's mental health. They ask questions, and they genuinely ask these questions, and they genuinely want an answer and see how they can help. I feel like this is an important trend that I've seen over time. The times when people did not like to talk about their mental health at all, to people now being open about their mental health issues and not feeling like they are going crazy or they're on colos. So it is a dating trend that I feel like it is so beautiful to see. Another dating trend that I've also noticed in 2025 that has been in existence for a while now is digital connection with a twist. Dating apps are a thing, yeah, but these days I feel like dating apps here in Nigeria, the ones that I've observed though, are filled with people that want to do hookups and have fun. So there is like a twist to it now. You can meet anyone on social media. You just go on Instagram and hear somebody here talking about their love story, about how they met somebody on social media. Video calls, there is voice calls, you can, like do fun and interesting things. Even on iMessage, you can play games with this person, and there's just that digital connection, especially if you guys are not in the same city or the same area, or person is another continent entirely from where you are. So it is fun to see how things are evolving, especially since we are now in the digital age and things are a lot more easier. So my relationship tips for 2025 are a few. They're not so many, but these are things that I've kept in mind and I have written. I wrote them in my phone so that I can read them out to you guys because, yeah, it's a lot. Number one is be clear about what you want. Stop entertaining vibes. If you want commitment, be honest about your expectations from the start. It saves time and heartache. So please, dear, be clear about what you want. It is hard to be clear as a woman because a lot of times a lot of men will see you as desperate, like, you just started talking like 2 or 3 months ago. This one is already asking you, what are we doing? Where is this going? One thing I want to tell you for free is that you should not care about what they say. The person that is right for you would not think about these things or even fidget when you ask that question. So don't rely on vibes. Vibes and inshallah was way back when you were young, and even when you were vibing, you were hoping that to get to something serious, but it never did. Where did the vibes lead you to? Nowhere. So avoid vibes. You're getting too old for that shit. Try to be very direct and have conversations around that topic. Don't stay and get carried away by love wanting thing. You know, these men know what they're doing sometimes, and it's some men fall victims to this. So it's important to guard yourself up so you don't fall for the wrong things or for the wrong vibes in quotes. The second thing I wrote here is number two: communicate, don't assume. Clear communication is everything. Don't expect people to read your mind. If you're confused about where you stand, ask. So it's important for you to know how to clearly communicate your feelings, because nobody is nobody is the Holy Spirit. Nobody is going to read your mind and know what is going on in your mind. So it's important that you clearly communicate, this is how you're feeling. I think that miscommunication is what causes a lot of rifts in relationships and marriage. So clear communications and not assuming goes a long way. Number three on my notepad here is guard your heart, but don't build walls. What I wrote under this number three is it's okay to be cautious, but don't let past hurts make you emotionally unavailable. Vulnerability is scary but necessary for a real connection. Try to open up to people. You can open up to people, but not in a way that writes you off or makes you overly vulnerable to them, that you're now attached to them. Because there's a way you can be vulnerable to people and you get attached and you feel like, oh, these people know this much about me in less than 3 months. Oga, rest. Learn to bring down those walls and allow people in. And number four on my notepad is focus on compatibility, not just chemistry. Chemistry is fun. Do your lifestyles, values, and long term goals align? That's what matters. So, like I said, focus on compatibility, not just chemistry. Chemistry is beautiful. It's beautiful to have someone that makes the butterfly in your stomach flutter with joy when you even perceive the person's perfume. or you hear the person's voice. It's beautiful, but compatibility is very important. Do your lifestyles, your values, and long term goals align? So if those things do not align, please, I don't know, you just gotta go, sis. Chemistry is important, but you need to be compatible. And it's not easy in this day and age, but with God, it can happen. So, number five here, the final one is prioritize self love. What I wrote here is your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. Heal, grow, and love yourself first because the right person will complement your life, not complete it. There's one thing I wrote a poem about how nobody can complete you. Absolutely no one. If you're looking for someone to complete you, then you're making a very big mistake. You need to meet someone who can complement you and not complete you. It's also very important to actually prioritize yourself, love yourself, prioritize self-love. It is not being selfish. You're putting yourself first in certain things, loving yourself, loving the perks and perks of yourself that you probably never really liked. For me, I had to heal from a lot of things that I grew up thinking that I was when I was not that person. Growing up, I used to think that I was not beautiful. I used to fight growing up as a kid. So yeah, I had to heal from all of those things. I had to heal from the hurts that I experienced growing up or even as an adult. um it is something in 2022 and 2023 that I had to purge out of. I'm still in that process of purging out a lot of things that I had swallowed or had taken in like growing up. So I had to heal. Loving yourself is very important and is a work in progress. It's not something that can happen in 1 year, in 2 days. It takes time. And loving yourself is hard, but it's important that you do so you can open up yourself to the right ones and not the unhealed version of other people, but the healed version of people who are right for you. So there are a few red flags that you need to look out for. We're not going to base our decision on potential, but we're going to look out for the actual red flags and tackle them. And immediately you notice them, you bounce. It's either you stay if you want to, but bounce. But there are some very glaring red flags that you try to give excuses for that person because if you like the person, you make an excuse for them. And number one that I wrote here is lack of communication. Lack of consistent communication. Girl, we're not doing off and on in 2025. No, we're not doing that. 2025 had that, it has to stop. Lack of consistent communication. As a matter of fact, if somebody does not communicate with you properly, and maybe the person probably can tell that you like them, and they are not consistently communicating, they're not talking, at least reaching out to you once in a while. Not once in a while. This is somebody you want to do relationship stuff with and they're not communicating with you properly, my girl, that is a very big fat ass red flag. And you should pick your slippers and run because they will hurt you. Hurt is scatter. And this is based on experience, like I said before. So please, lack of consistent communication is a red flag. It's possible that they're communicating with you when they want to communicate with you, when they want something from you. And I'm not only directing this at girls, I'm also directing it at men as well because it goes both ways. There are people who are users, and when they know that you like them and you're available all the time, they will use you. Could be for sex, could be for money, could be for your time, could be for anything whatsoever. So please shine your eye. Second red flag that I wrote here is emotional unavailability masked as I'm just busy. That's another level of inconsistent communication because which one is your busy? I mean, I'm working, you're working too, but I take out time to communicate with you, right? So where is that coming from? Emotional unavailability is a red flag. The person is available in certain areas but not emotionally available to you. Some people, they could probably really love you, but being emotionally unavailable is hard, especially towards a woman, because women are emotional beings. So it's important that you meet somebody who matches, except you're a woman that does not care about the emotional aspects of the relationship. But how is your relationship not based on emotions? Like, not everything, but is it not the emotions that leads to you loving the person? Your emotions play a huge role. So why is that person unavailable to you emotionally? That's a big red flag. So X, nope, not in 2025. Don't do that to yourself. The third one I wrote here is love bombing, intense affection early on, then pulling away. I experienced this when I came new to Lagos. There's a guy I met. I knew him before, and then when I met him again, we just kicked off. Oh my god, the love bombing was real. What? I was like, oh my god, I finally found the one. Girl, you've not found the one. That was literally somebody love bombing you. And it kind of skyrocketed to something that got really ugly. And nah, you don't want that. People that love, they just give you all that love and then they just pull it away. It is weird. It is not good. It's and I think I'm going to have a conversation about how you find out if somebody is actually love bombing you, because it is sometimes it comes very subtle and you think that the person is just in love with you, but it's too quick. Men don't fall in love that quickly. That's the truth. Men don't fall in love like one time they're in love with you. For them, it's a gradual thing, and they get to love you eventually. They like you and they go the extra mile, and then because they actually like you more than the normal way they would like somebody, then it kind of now evolves into love. But when somebody is just packing love from right to left and center, just met you today, the next day, oh, let's go and do very lovey-dovey stuff. Oh, I want to hold. We're not doing that. 2025 is a red flag. Number four on my list here is refusing to define the relationship after months of vibes. I remember I had a talking stage with somebody for, say, 6, 7 months. It was during the pandemic, Shaz. And we were bored. We were trying to just help ourselves during the pandemic. Like we barely saw each other, but we always talk on the phone day. Every day. We're talking over the phone, doing all of these things, and saying a lot of things as well. But it was not clearly defined. And there are times where I took the liberty to ask questions. What are we doing? What is going on? I became that girl that I said asking, what are we doing? And I was never that girl. I was never that girl because I did not even know. I used to feel like asking what are we doing was a fluke. It is killing my steez because they will see me as a desperate babe. Anybody refusing to define your relationship, especially when you guys are already doing certain things that people in relationship do. It doesn't have to be sex. It could be things like hanging out, taking your time, chilling, exchanging fluid, salad. Please, the person has refused to define it. My sister, pick your slippers and go. My brother, please pack up and leave. It's not good for your mental health. It's not going to help you at all. It's a very big ass red flag. The last thing that I would like to talk about that I'm going to put here is disrespect disguised as I'm just joking. No, blatant disrespect to your face, and then they will say it's a joke. Nah, you know what is a joke and you know what is disrespect. So cut that shit out, set it straight. Don't bring that joke thing here where I am. I mean, it is important to joke. I like to joke. I like to make fun of things and all that. But when people make fun of things that are important to you, and they know that that thing is important to you, and you take it personally, they not expect you to laugh. I'm sorry, you cannot laugh at things like that. You have to call it out and ask the person, what was that joke about? Or I didn't like that joke. And you, like I said, clear communication. I didn't like that joke. This is how it made me feel. And sometimes there are some people that cannot draw a line, boundaries. They don't understand boundaries at all. So you help them understand that boundary. And if they refuse to, please pack up and leave, because if you eventually end up with the person, what if that person continues to crack very insensitive jokes that are not you're not happy about, you don't feel comfortable with, and you should not allow anybody disrespect you and call it a joke, because it is you, and there are certain things you can take as joke and there are certain things you can't take as joke, and you should start defining that right now. And if that happens, please clearly communicate so there's no rift whatsoever. If the person is emotionally intelligent enough, they will apologize and not do that again. Emotionally intelligent people, men, women, are important in this age and time, because it is just going to make things a lot more easier for you. So at the end of the day, dating in 2025 doesn't have to be overwhelming. It is important that you know your worth, know where you stand, about being intentional and not settling for less than what you deserve. Life is like, there are a lot of lessons that I've learned, and I'm glad that I shared this with you. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and listening to all my conversations and talks about dating trends in 2025, relationship tips that I shared with you guys, and red flags to look out for. I'm happy that I was able to share this with you without feeling a certain way, because I felt like, oh yeah, everybody will know that I'm single now. Yeah, right. I've been single for a while and I'm happy being single, because in this process of being single, I'm figuring out myself and bettering my relationship with God. And you who I trust God's timing. Is I'm waiting on his time to go. And I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm not going to burden myself with that responsibility. His responsibility to job the person he's going to job for me. But it cannot be anyone too. So you have to pray. It can't be anyone too, but so you have to pray to God to actually help you out in making that decision, because things are flying here and there. So yeah, this is all I have to share with you guys. Thank you so much for listening and coming to another tech talk with me. It's amazing having you here with me. If it's your first time, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see my weekly updates on YouTube. And follow me on Instagram at oma.ndamati, and TikTok, same thing, Oma Ndamati, and Twitter, X, as you all know now, as Oma Ndamati. Sha Oma Ndamati everywhere. So check me out and connect with me. Please drop a comment and share in the comment section with your own personal relationship tips and your dating trends 25 that you love, and also red flags that people should look out for in relationship, so they can know, what is what. Share this video. You will never really know who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll keep saying it until you subscribe. Yeah, have a fantastic evening and bye. Mwah.